Hi, Assalamualaikum to Madam Nur Fazila. My name is Noran Shafika. So this slide introduce the background and problem statement of our study. For the background, online food delivery service more became popular after COVID-19. Many consumers, especially university students, use the platform because they are very convenient and save time. Besides that, online food delivery also contribute to Malaysian economy by creating job opportunities and improving access to food. For the problem statement, although online food delivery is widely used, users still face the problems such as late delivery service, wrong orders, technical issue, traffic delays, and miscommunication. This issue may reduce user intention to continue using the service. Therefore, this study focuses on the factor that influence university students' continuous intention to use online food delivery service. Next, this slide explains our research objective and research question and method of analysis. First, the research objective are to examine the relationship between four factors, which is information quality, performance expectancy, effort expectancy, and social influence. And university students' continuous intention to use online food delivery service. Next, the research questions are based on this objective. We want to determine whether each of these four factors has a significant relationship with continuous intention to use online food delivery every service. Lastly, for the method of analysis, the data were analyzed using SPSS. We conduct outlier analysis, normality analysis, and descriptive statistics, reliability analysis, and demographic analysis. Pearson correlation analysis and multiple regression analysis to test the relationship between the variables.
Assalamualaikum. Now I will continue with the next chapter, which is the literature review. The first one that I would like to talk is the literature review for the DV, which is the continuous intention. The prominent scholar that we took the course is the Raza et al. 2022, Muhammad Adib et al. 2035, and Zhou and Bakal 2020. From all of these statements from the scholars, the key findings that we come up is that consumer intention is an individual willingness to accept system during the future that subsequently influencing their purchasing behavior, which is the continuous intention is really related with the online food delivery. The next variable is the IV. One of the IV is information quality. The prominent scholar that from the for the variable is the Ashfaq et al. 2020, Shahira Arifin et al. 2031, Park et al. 2021, and Jacob Nelson 26. The key finding for this variable is high quality information, like accurate, complete, and relevant and timely, increase the user trust, satisfaction, and continuous intention to use of OFD service. So it is really related with the factor that can increase the continued intention of customer in using the OFD service. The next one is the performance expectancy. The scholar is Van Venkaish et al. 2003, Chen et al. 2020, Shahira Arifin et al. 2001, and Lee Tuan An 2031. The key finding is users are more likely to continue using OFD service when they perceive benefits such as convenience, time saving, usefulness, and improved efficiency. The customer will be attracted to use OFD service with these benefits. The next one is effort expectancy. The key finding is easy to use, user-friendly already application that can encourage customer to continue using the service by reducing the effort required to place orders. Easy for them to order first, where they don't need to move around. And the last one is social influence. The key finding that we found from this the scholar is recommendation from family, friends, and peers, influencer, and social media really influence the customization to using OFD service. Now I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Next, I will explain our research methods. This study used a quantitative research method where numerical data is collected using structured questionnaire. The collected data will be analyzed using SPSS, which is help us examine the relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable objectively. Using a quantitative approach allow us to produce reliable, measurable, and objective research finding. Now let's move on to the research design. This study used a quantitative correlational research design because we want to examine the relationship between information quality, performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and continuous intention to use OFD service. We also use a cross-sectional design, meaning that data is collected only once from respondents during the study period. The questionnaire will be distributed online using Google Form, and all collected data will be analyzed using SPSS. The main purpose of this study to identify the factor that influence user continuous intention to use online food delivery service. Next, I will explain the sampling method used in this study. First, the target population consisted of UiTM Puncak Alam students who have previously used online food delivery services such as GrabFood and Foodpanda. These students were selected because they have experience using these platforms and can provide reliable opinions on the factor influencing their continuous intention to use online food delivery services. For the sampling technique, we use convenience sampling, which is a non-probability sampling method. Respondents were chosen based on their willingness and availability to participate. The questionnaire was distributed online through Google Form using WhatsApp. Lastly, regarding the sample size, a total of 30 university students participate in the survey. All respondents had previous experience using online food delivery applications. The collected responses were sufficient to conduct reliability analysis, descriptive statistics, and multiple regression analysis. That's all for the sampling section. Next, I will explain our data collection process. For this study, we collect data using a structured questionnaire distributed through Google Forms. The questionnaire uses a 5-point Likert scale where 1 represents strong disagree and 5 represents strongly agree. The questionnaire consists of 2 sections. Section A collect respondents' demographic information including their gender, age, current occupation, and the food delivery application they use most frequently, and how often they use food delivery services. Section B measures the main variable in this study, namely information quality, performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and continuous intention.
Finally, all responses were voluntary, anonymous, and kept confidential. The information collected was used only for academic purposes. That's all for the data collection section.
Now I will present the data analysis section of our study. First is correlation analysis. Correlation analysis is used to determine the strength and direction of the relationship between information quality, performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and continuous intention. This analysis help us to identify whether this independent variable have a significant relationship with user continuous intention to use online food delivery services. And next is normality analysis. This analysis determines whether the data follows such a normal distribution, which is an important assumption for parametric tests such as Pearson correlation and multiple regression. Based on our finding, the data met the acceptable criteria in experience within 2 and potentials within 7. Therefore, the data is considered normal. The data is considered normally distributed and stable for further analysis. Data analysis is descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis summarizes the main characteristics of the data, uses statistics such as frequency, percentage, mean, and standard deviation. This provides a clear overview of the respondents, responses, and the overall patterns of the study variable. The fourth analysis is reliability analysis. Reliability analysis evaluates the internal consistency of the questionnaire using Cronbach alpha, a Cronbach alpha value of 0.70 or above indicates that the questionnaire is reliable and that the measurement items are suitable for further statistical analysis. Lastly, demographic analysis summarizes the respondents' background information, including age, gender, occupations, preferred online food delivery services, and frequency of using online food delivery services. This analysis helps describe the characteristics of the respondents involved in this study. Next, I will present the findings from the data analysis. First, for the descriptive analysis, all variables recorded high mean scores ranging from 4.31 to 4.57. Social influence has the highest mean score of 4.57, followed by continuous intentions and 4.52. This indicates that respondents generally had positive perceptions towards all the construct in the study. Second, for the outlier analysis, 7 outliers were identified in the dataset. After examining these cases, the data was considered suitable for further analysis. Third, the normality test shows that both skewness and kurtosis value were within the acceptable range. Therefore, the data is normally distributed and meets the assumptions for the statistical analysis. Next, the reliability analysis was conducted using Cronbach alpha. Information quality, performance expectancies, and effort expectancy shows a good reliability with values above 0.80. However, social influence and continuous intention recorded lower reliability values, indicating that these constructs may need improvement in future studies. Lastly, for the hypothesis were tested using correlations analysis, the result shows that performance expectancy and social influence have significant positive relationship with continuous intentions, as both have a p-value of 0.00, which is less than 0.05. Therefore, H2 and H4 are supported. On the other hand, information quality and effort expectancy do not have a significant relationship with continuous intention because their p-values are greater than 0.05. Thus, H1 and H3 are not supported. In conclusion, the findings suggest that performance expectancy and social influence are the key factors influencing respondents' continuous intention. That's all from me.
Lastly, I will present the hypothesis testing and methodology summary. For hypothesis testing, this study used Pearson correlation analysis to examine the relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variables, which is continuous intention. The independent variables are informed quality, performance expectancy, effort expectancy, and social influence. Overall, this study adopts a quantitative research designed with a correlation approach. A total of 30 UiTM Puncak Alam students who has experience using online food delivery services participate in this study through convenience sampling. The data were collected using a structured questionnaire distributed via Google Forms with a 5-point like scale. Finally, the collected data were analyzed using SPSS, including outlier analysis, normality analysis, descriptive statistics, reliability analysis, demographic analysis, and Pearson correlation analysis to answer the research objective and the test the proposed hypothesis. Thank you.